Hey, how are you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome to this amazing class this evening for me. I don't know what time it is for you, but we're talking about massive money mistakes ambitious spiritual people make that keep them from ever succeeding in the way that they would like to. So we're going to go through a series of these mistakes that are made. Hopefully you're not making them, but if you are, this is your opportunity to stop, okay? Now, who is this for? It is for the ambitious, okay? The ones who don't see ambition as a dirty word, yeah? Spiritual people, sometimes we try to separate ambition from being spiritual. There's no need to. There's absolutely no need to. Those visions, those desires in your heart are not there by mistake, okay? They're there for you to fulfill if you will choose to. So for people who are looking to either transition out of their job or career or unfulfilling business or into their own purpose-driven business, same as I did because I moved out of pharmacy into property. Property was an unfulfilling business, though it was quite profitable, into doing the work that I do now. Lots of ups and downs and ins and outs, because like a lot of ambitious spiritual people, there's a part of you that you know that you're called to empower people, but it feels unreal. You're used to doing things like pharmacy or being a lawyer or being, real estate is more tangible than, oh, I'm going to be a coach. Yeah, what does that even look like? I mean, you know what it looks like, but then you doing it, you feel a little bit like, ugh. And even the idea, because I know it took me a long time to be able to tell people, even as recently as last year or something, it was like every time people ask me what to do, what I do, I almost like avoid the question, because it's a bit like, well, and then I realized, stop it, Rosemary. Actually, this work that you do changes lives. Be proud of it. But I know what it's like to be that you're known as pharmacist, you're known as doctor, you're known as lawyer, as engineer, as whatever. It feels more tangible. And then, oh yeah, I'm a coach. Yeah, a healer. And it feels a little bit like, oh, okay. So anyway, this is for you if you're ready to actually admit that you would like to transition out of your job into doing more transformational work, okay? You value your time, you're fed up of trying to figure it all out alone. And for goodness sake, let's be honest about this. You're coming to the end of another freaking year, and you started this year telling yourself that this was going to be the year everything changed for you, and it has not been. It has not been. And there's a tendency, or there's in the quiet time, just before you go to bed and first thing in the morning, you feel disappointed that you did not do the things that you said you were going to do this year. And here we are coming up to another holiday, and it feels a bit yucky, if you're honest. Are you going to be that honest? I don't know, basically. But whichever way you want change, you're ready for change. Now, some or all of what I'm about to say can apply to you. Okay, you are not making the income that you'd like to make in the business, even though you've been working very hard at it. Okay, if you're already in business, you're telling yourself that you're doing everything, but ultimately the money is still not coming through to you. Yeah, or you're scared to actually even start the freaking business because there's lots of people in your life that need you, and you're not sure how you're going to make that business work to make you money fast, so you keep procrastinating on actually going all in. So you're planning and you're learning and you're reading and you're doing and attending the free webinars and reading the books and maybe even going to the paid conferences, and you're still not actually making a start. You're not quite going all in. There's still doubt, there's still fear, you're still holding back ultimately. If that's you, you're in the right place, okay? As long as you're done with the planning thing, because the planning thing, obviously it's not getting you anywhere. Obviously it's not moving you forward. Even I've done everything and nothing is working. Maybe it's true. Actually, no, it's not true. It's never true. What am I saying? It's never true. If you're alive, there's something you haven't quite done. And it has, and so that may be the thing that is stopping you, or there may be internal blocks, which is one of the reasons why you're here as well. Now, I'm Rosemary, Nonny. I'm a weird blend of African and English. I grew up feeling very, 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 very broke after my father had this car accident. We had, well, not just my father, we were all in the car actually. And we had this car accident which resulted in my father's spine being broken and paralyzed him from his neck down. And this was when I was about 6 or 7. So life did change quite dramatically. And also, as a result of that, accident, I learned to live with fear because I was told as a 6, 7, 8 year old that the reason why my father had had this accident was because someone did some black magic against him, and I believed it completely. I didn't even realize just how deeply I had believed this until about 3, 4, 5 years ago. The divine brought it to my attention and said, you know that since you were 6, 7, 8 and someone mentioned this to you, it has stayed inside of your psyche and convinced you that the power of black magic, juju, is more powerful than the divine. Because if this could happen, then the divine does not actually have enough power to protect me from somebody choosing to do some kind of juju if I got too successful. Because that was the thing with my dad. He was getting way too successful, people said. And so, what does way too successful even mean? But but that was the story that was told me. Oh, you know, he was really getting successful, and so people were jealous of him and decided to do this black magic thing against him, which meant he had his spinal cord broken, and the rest of our lives completely changed. And so I was scared, and I didn't realize it. All I knew is that I was doing everything. Like I said earlier, some of you saying this to yourself, I'm doing everything, but nothing seems to be working. The difference, I suppose, with me and a lot of people is that I just kept going because I knew that my breakthrough absolutely is coming through. And you can know that too. Your success is absolutely sure. Absolutely sure. You are one with the divine. When you've decided that you're going to do something, nothing can stop you. We just don't know how long it's going to take you, but we know you are destined to win. As long as you decide to remain destined to win. As long as you decide to really decide, I am freaking winning at this thing. Okay, so I had grown up with all this fear, as well as then we used to have things like armed robbers coming around the house. And when I was, again, in Nigeria, quite young, we had armed robbers coming around, because at that time, I don't know what it's like now, because I haven't been in Nigeria for quite a while, but at that point, generally people kept their money at home. For whatever reason, people, they put money in banks, but you still kept big wad if you're in business anyway. There was a lot of handling of cash. And so the armed robbers knew that if they were going to get money from someone, they needed to find them in the house. Now, the thing I knew about coming to the UK was if someone was coming to rob you, burglars, they generally tended to come when you were not at home, okay? So that they could just quickly rifle through your house and go. In Nigeria, they came specifically when you were home. So we would suddenly be asleep, and then one of the air conditioners or something would suddenly crash to the ground, and there was this loud bang, and then people were running through the hole in the wall, basically through the air conditioner hole, and then they'd come in and start screaming and shouting and shooting guns everywhere, and then they'd take my mom around because my dad couldn't walk around, so they'd take the most responsible adult in the house and take her around the house, and they'd be beating her and asking her for the money and to show them around everywhere. Yes, I grew up with a heck of a lot of fear. That also made me very afraid because of money. It made me afraid of money because whenever we had money, of any kind, even if we didn't even have that much for ourselves, because we really didn't, people tried to take it away either using black magic or using very physical force, ultimately. And so I grew up with these fears around money. And I didn't realize that they were driving my life. What I did realize was I couldn't seem to hold on to money. So even when I became a pharmacist, I was making more money than I'd ever done in my life. And somehow I got into more debt. I was owing more than I'd ever owed in my life. And I was getting rid of money faster. I couldn't even for the life of you tell you where it went. I know there was a lot of say yes to people that I should have been saying no to. But ultimately, it was because I was not comfortable with money at all. I joined churches that celebrated poverty because it felt a heck of a lot more comfortable to me for people to be moaning about not having enough money. That was how I'd grown up. So that was more comfortable than being in a place where everybody seemed to be doing okay. Okay. A part of me did know that I didn't want to be broke, but that just made me feel quite greedy and evil for wanting money because I'm spiritual and I wanted to be close to the divine. How can I be thinking about wanting money? And so I felt that I was a really proud person and that for that reason as well, I was not going to be allowed to have money because the divine was not going to allow me to have money. So I was fearing the divine fearing that the divine wasn't powerful enough to protect me. I was fearing that people were going to come and get me because I was having money. I was fearing that the divine would hate me because I wanted money. And there's all this stuff plaguing my mind, which did lead in the end to me going bankrupt. I would not have known that that was part of the reason for it. In fact, at that point, it just felt like, well, you just got yourself into debt. You're really stupid. And I did make stupid mistakes. There's absolutely no doubt about that because ultimately I was grown up. I made choices about that money. Now, what drove those choices, I may not have known, but I still made physical choices that led to me going bankrupt. Okay. And that as a result of going bankrupt, I felt like it's such a freaking failure that I woke up on the next morning after going bankrupt completely dead inside. I call that period, 4-year period, the blank, because I felt nothing. I feel as if now I look back, I realize. In fact, I even went to a doctor to ask why do I feel so low, and I was speaking to my pastor and everything and trying to explain that I feel dead inside. I can't feel anything anymore. And I knew, and it started the morning after going bankrupt, because I realized now that it was all just so crushing to me. I didn't know how to handle it. So the only way to handle it was to stop being present. It was almost like, I talk about frozen personalities. A part of me froze completely. The only thing, the lights of my life, my husband and my children at this point, I started having, because I was 7 months pregnant with my first child when I went bankrupt. And then over the 4-year period, I gave birth to my remaining three daughters in total. They were the thing that kept me going. And I thought I could find a way to become this amazing mother and pharmacist, because I told myself, listen, all that great stuff that you read in the books and the personal development and all of that, it doesn't happen to people like you. So give it up and just settle. You have a husband that loves you. You have 3 amazing daughters. Settle. That was literally the thinking inside of me. I sold all personal development, business development books, turn up at church with a smile on my face, singing with the best of them about how I believe in the divine and I have faith and But really, under all of this, there was probably actually anger towards the divine for not keeping me safe, or for not saving me from these mistakes of mine. And I definitely was a victim at that point. So it was a horrible mishmash of stuff. Okay. But I did wake up 4 years into it. I suddenly had I realized I want to home educate I knew I wanted to home educate my children from the moment I was pregnant with my firstborn. I'm thinking, there's no way she's going to school. There's no way she's going to childcare. But I had to for a bit. It was when I got to having my 3rd child and realized, listen, just because you're burying your head in the sand and feeling sorry for yourself doesn't actually mean that your money situation is getting any freaking better. So if you are going to change things, this is rock bottom. You can't go any lower than now. So, so you may as well find a way to move forward. And so I did. I started to wake up. I started to realize, you know what? The divine loves me. Just like the divine loves you, unconditionally loves you. But if I'm going to live in my purpose, if I am going to create wealth, it's going to be me making that choice to do so. The divine will never force me to live my life to the fullness of my potential. I get to choose this. You get to choose this. You can pray and beg and plead, but until you make the decision that you're actually going to live to the fullness of your potential, you're going to make the money, you're going to do the stuff, nothing will change, okay? You can pray, beg, pray. But you actually need to move your awesome butt and do something. This is what I learned. And so I woke up, started thinking about what can I do around the children. I looked at not crypto, currency, forex. That didn't make that much sense to me completely. So then I started looking at property, because it felt like something I could do around the children. I could take them around, and I did actually. For 18 months, because I did invest, I went to the space, I was shouting about no money down. I was a really frumpy mommy at this point. I'd put on a lot of weight. I was feeling quite sad. And it took a lot of courage even to go to a networking event to try and figure out, okay, what am I going to do? And but I did take myself out there. And then I decided to work with a coach, because I realized at this point that, you know what, it taken me, it felt like 25 years, okay? So all my education to become a pharmacist, all my educational years to become a pharmacist. Why did I think and I paid out a lot to do that. Why did I think that I could go into business without some kind of support? So I stopped dabbling, because I've been dabbling pre-bankruptcy, pre-children. Dabbled at this. I tried business for a little bit, because I knew I wanted to be in business. So I tried for a little bit, but then as soon as it got difficult, I'm a pharmacist, I don't need to do this. But this time it was like, okay, enough playing around, Rosie. Enough playing around. Are you actually serious about doing this thing? Okay, so I need help. So I did get help. I did pay out a heck of a lot of money for this help, okay? It didn't make any sense to do that. In fact, I even had a friend laughing at me, saying there's no way I would ever pay that much for this. This best friend is in the same place. I'm not. So ultimately, because I made a decision that, you know what, yeah, I'm going to pay out this money. I don't have this money, so I'm going to have to borrow this money in order to pay it out. So I'm going to borrow this money, I'm going to pay it out, and I'm going to freaking get it back. It was like a dead certainty inside of me. This has gone too far. I am getting this money back. And so, yes, within the first year, even though I'm not going to lie, it was one of the hardest years of my life. It's comparable to learning how to breastfeed, which if breastfeeding came easy to you and you're not a male or you're not a woman, so you've never had it, you will not understand just how difficult that can be. Because it's supposed to be so natural, just the same as building a business is supposed to be so natural. But if you don't get it, you really don't get it, and it can be the most painful thing you've ever done in your freaking life. So, and it was until I mastered breastfeeding. That was the most difficult thing I'd ever done. And then I mastered business. So, but it was also the most difficult thing that I'd ever done at that point in my life. For me, business growth has definitely been personal growth and spiritual growth. I'm not even mincing words with you, so I get it why you might be procrastinating, because it's part of you thinks it's going to be scary. Probably will be, because you've never done it before. So the question is, do you want the end goal enough to go through what can be sometimes quite scary? Man, it can be quite scary. Are you willing to do you want the end result enough? Have you got to that point where you find that it's like, just enough? Is this the year that you finally realize, come on, I'm done, and this is not supposed to be my life? Because I had to get there. Just having this conversation, what started it off was having some conversation with a cousin, yelling at me about not sending money or something. And it was just like, what the frick is happening here? This is not my life. In fact, it wasn't even just that. It was then also a closer relative, a sibling, then yelling down the phone at me. Oh my goodness. It felt like, what the heck is happening here? This is not me. How can this be happening to me? That's when I started to truly wake up. So are you at that point yet? Because until you get to that point, you just be playing and dabbling. Or in some ways, you know what? I don't actually believe you have to get to a point where life is horrible before you finally wake up. But I know as human beings, for whatever reason, we tend to want to wait until you are feeling like death itself. And then suddenly you're going to change things. But you don't have to. You could choose now. I know I say you could choose now, but the chances are you won't. So I'm in some ways speaking to the one who is done, who is fed up, who is determined, and you're not weak-minded anymore. You are so freaking ready for change. It's you I'm speaking to, because I had to get to that point. Before that, I was just playing around. Oh, I'll try this for a little bit, see how it goes. I'll wait until all this is ready first, and then maybe I'll do that. Nonsense! You know it's not going to work that way, and yet you keep telling yourself lies. You are literally created in the image and likeness of the divine, and you know it. You know that within you there's a power that is seeking to be birthed out of you. And yet, you keep acting as though... I kept acting like I'm weak, because I'm not trying to judge anyone because I did it. But I am trying to get you to wake up. How many more years have to go by before you finally realize that being spiritual is not enough? It's not enough. If you want the life you say you want, you're going to have to really go all in and get it. And this is combining both the inner stuff with the outer stuff. It's all right talking, because we're going to talk about, well, today actually is more inner stuff than outer stuff. But there's strategies you can follow, because business growth itself, actually, the practical things you need to do to grow a business are not that difficult. They're not that difficult. It can be simple, it can be easy, it can be swift. But you are complicated. You are complicated so and so. And if you don't get aware of just how crazy sometimes your internal world is, you will keep getting in your own way, and you won't even know why you are doing it. You will think you have great sounding, amazing reasons. It's because I don't have the money in my account right now. It's because, you know what, my mom needs me right now and I will do it soon. Or the children need me. Absolutely. And, you know, you look like such a good parent, a good child, a good partner. I just have to wait until everybody's ready. And, you know, I can't just to go and do my own thing. I'm a responsible adult. It'll all sound so reasonable and sensible. And then one day you will realize that you are on your deathbed and you didn't live the life that you wanted to live. I hope that's not you. I hope that's not you. But sometimes it's like I did this where you're kind of almost waiting for a door to open that you haven't pushed open. That if you just wait long enough, somebody will give you a platform, something will happen, and then you'll just kind of fall into living in your purpose somehow. It doesn't work. You will literally be waiting forever. And until you make the decision to clear whatever is in your way, and then to also take practical action in the direction of the vision, nothing changes. I always feel like I'm being too negative right now. I should just tell you about how easy it all is. And the truth is, it is easy. But it's also quite difficult. It's easy and it's difficult. It's easy, the things you actually have to do, quite simple. But the tension that you have to wade through, the internal tension you have to wade through, it's not so easy. Not so easy. You do have to handle that internal stuff. And this is why I'm doing Pray, Affirm, Receive. Because to consistently get clients, all you need really is a target audience. Who is it that you want to serve? What problem is it that you're helping them with? Package something up to serve them with it. Put a good price on it. Have some kind of free giveaway that links to the final offer. Start telling people about that free giveaway. Let them sign up for it. As soon as they sign up for it, you offer them to get on the phone with them. Potentially, if you've not made 6 figures yet, I will always say speak to people, as many people as possible. Get on the phone with them, talk about their needs, and then decide if what you have to offer can help them. Make your offers. If you do that consistently and keep growing the number of people who are aware of what you're about and on your mailing list, keep growing that number of people and keep growing the number of people that you're inviting to have conversations with you, you will inevitably make 6 figures, and you could probably even do it within a year if you stay consistent. Not that complicated. However, we make it complicated because you have these internal, you have rules that you live your life by. Some of them have been planted inside of you by religion, by your family, by the job you worked in, by the media, and you're not aware of them. Everybody around you lives exactly the same way. You think that these rules that you live by are the only way to live, but they're actually getting in the way of you moving forward. And in fact, some of your rules are so insidious that literally it feels like the divine said you have to live in this way or else. And so you believe it you believe it so much, and in fact, if anybody's trying to tell you that the way you're looking at things is not helping you, you in some way think that they are trying to destroy you, or they're trying to send you to hell, and you fight to stay stuck. And it's crazy, but you don't know you're doing it. So those are the rules you live by that you're not even aware of. And then there's the obvious ones like fear and procrastinating. But under all the fear and procrastinating is usually the rules that you don't know you're living by. And these things, you call them money blocks, call them emotional mental blocks, call them whatever the frick you like. They distract you from the simple things you need to do to grow your business. And it's you know, the further I get into this journey, the more deep I go with the divine, the more clearly I can see how I held myself back for way too freaking long. The things I held on to, thinking that they would be the thing that would get me there, were the thing that was actually blocking me. That's why I'm doing Pray, Affirm, Receive. Because I see it happening with a heck of a lot of clients that come to work with me. They know the simple things to do, but somehow they convince themselves not to do it. And then we have to dig in, and then I see the same patterns showing up in their life that used to be in mine. Sometimes it's difficult to help them see it too, because they too can be so convinced. But we're in a relationship, so little by little I start to plant seeds, leave them with the seeds. Sometimes they rebel against it to begin with, but those who are really determined to move forward finally see the truth of what I'm saying. And now I'm doing Pray, Affirm, Receive, because this is what I know about all of us. particularly we spiritual people, we do have the power to create wealth. It's absolutely a given. You have the power to create as much money, as much joy, as much abundance, as much happiness, as much whatever as you want. The practical things and the material things and the spiritual things, you have the power to create them all. But you do not know how to use that power. You think it's dependent on something outside of you. And so you keep waiting for things to just kind of happen, but you don't notice how you're getting in your own way. You don't notice how you're getting in your own way. So pray, affirm, receive is here to help you not just pray or affirm, but also to receive. Because yeah, it's not the nuts and bolts of a business growth course, but it is the nuts and bolts of what you need to do to ensure that you are a clear channel for your wealth, for your abundance, for your fulfillment to flow through. Because you have many blocks. It's like I use the example sometimes. Oh, here's a cup. You know, that all the good stuff I want is in this cup. Yeah. All I need to do is have my straw and suck it up. But I can't because the straw is blocked. So I am sucking and sucking. That's all of you working hard. And you get a little trickle coming through. But if you just either change straw, remove straw altogether, or clear the freaking straw, you would have free flow of everything in the cup. That is what is happening with you guys. You are blocked up and you don't know it. And some of you are even quite well engaged in trying to clear, but you're clearing the wrong stuff. And in fact, some of the stuff that you're clearing is absolutely not necessary. It's your judgment of the thing that is causing you troubles. You're guilty about things that you do not need to feel guilty about, but because you feel guilty, you feel that you're bad, and you have a rule that bad people are not allowed to prosper, so you will never allow yourself to prosper. That's just one example. But the problem is that you think the problem is the thing you did or the mistake you made, but it's not. It's your judgment of the mistake you made that is the problem. But if you've been told by your religion or something that this thing you did is bad, and you believe that, you'll be fighting the wrong battle and you won't even know it, and then you'll keep doing this to yourself, but you'll think it's the divine or something is the thing that is doing this to you. Nobody's doing it to you. The divine is not giving or taking anything away from you. You are the one that allows or disallows your own prosperity, and for the most part, you don't realize you're doing it. You think it's outside of your control, which is why I invite you to join me for Pray, Affirm, Receive, because not only will I be teaching you, planting seeds inside of you of the wisdom that has been given to me by the divine, but also there will be a time after each call where I can speak individually to people and help you unpick what's going on with you. So I am pretty dang excited. We're starting on the 4th, I think, of January, the first Thursday of January, just so that you in this 2024, you are in a completely different place. Because yes, as I said, the practical stuff is absolutely essential. You do need to know how to do the practical stuff. But if you are continually getting in your own way because of this unsorted out internal stuff, it doesn't matter how much practical stuff, and some of you already know this, you've been working hard, doing everything you see everybody else do, and somehow your results are always different from theirs. And you don't know why. This is why. There's something going on inside of you, or a lot of things even going inside of you. You do not need to be perfect in order to win, but at least you need to know when you are making decisions based on nonsense. Basically, you're making decisions based on nonsense, which is then clogging up the works and you can't seem to move forward. Listen, financial abundance is supposed to be your divine right if you will claim it deliberately. So number one myth that you may have is that there's some kind of magic spiritual buttons. I've kind of mentioned this, but that doesn't exist. Just because you're spiritual doesn't mean that you suddenly have an easy ride. It doesn't mean that everything suddenly works just because you claim to know the divine. So now if you know, everything is supposed to be easy for you. And I know we know this, but really pay attention to that. There's this almost passivity that is subtle, where there's this, I'll just keep doing whatever I'm doing, and then somehow, some way, it will just magically work. Because, you know, I've prayed and I've affirmed and I've written down my affirmations, and so it will just happen. And so you look busy, but you're not really doing all the things that you could be doing. I'm not saying you need to do every single thing on the planet here, but I am saying that you're being passive, and you kind of know it. There's just this wait and see kind of mentality going on with you. And the truth is, yeah, you can get a miracle here and there. But at some point, you're going to need to realize that you are the miracle that you're waiting for. You are the magic you're waiting for. And actually, consistent income flow is very deliberately designed. It isn't just by chance. Okay? So yeah, you can do the whole living by faith if you want to. But if you actually want consistent income coming through, you're going to have to build that consistent income. With the help of the divine, absolutely, no doubt about it. But that does not take away from your own power to create. So you need to wake up. Notice if there's this passivity going on where you're just kind of waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle. So get out there and create some miracles, man. Manifestation is not just magic. I don't know, it's all magic, and yet it's also you doing everything you know to do. Being very deliberately out there. It doesn't mean you do all the things you hate to do. There's no happy ending to an unhappy journey. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying, if you're holding back from doing things you could be doing because you think, oh, the divine, I don't know what your logic is, but there's just this hold back, this kind of passivity inside of you of, it will just kind of happen. No, it won't just kind of happen. You are the one to make it happen, my love. Okay, so that's number one myth, this passivity. Stop it. Stop waiting for the magic spiritual button. Number two, there's this idea as well that if it's in any way challenging, then it must not be of the divine. Because if you were living in your purpose and if the divine was backing you up, it would not be challenging at all. You should never have to push too hard on any doors. You should just, all the doors should just open and everything should be fine. And if it doesn't, you're off path, you're too attached, you should just, nonsense of a nonsense of a nonsense. And so when things are difficult or whatever, you spend all of your time trying to clean and clear and clean and clear and clean and clear. There is time to clean and clear, but you must also be doing what needs to be done to move your business forward. Okay? So it's like, if you're spending all of your time having some kind of morning ritual because you want to make sure you're super clear before you do anything, and then you end up with no time to actually do anything to grow your business, but then wondering why your business is not growing, that's kind of craziness, don't you think? Don't you think, my love? It's time to open your eyes. Because I remember the divine saying to me, you know what? The healing work is great. Do the healing work, but realize this. You can be healed and broke. You can be super healed, but if you haven't done anything to grow a business, you will be broke. So yes, the healing is necessary, but it's almost like a different goal from, I want to make 6 figures in my business. If you want to make 6 figures in your business, there's certain things that need to be done. Yeah, do some healing. But make sure you're doing what you need to do to grow your business. It is going to be challenging. You've not done it before. Of course it's going to be challenging. It has nothing to do, just because it's challenging doesn't mean that the divine is not in it. Just because you have to push on doors doesn't mean that the divine is not behind you. Because I've even had clients ask, yeah, but doesn't that mean that I'm pushing too hard? It doesn't that mean that maybe I'm going against the grain? Maybe this is something the divine doesn't want me to have, so maybe I should just give it up and nonsense. Do you want it or not? The divine is not withholding or giving you anything. So you are the one to decide. You are the one to decide. Is this a desire of my heart? In which case, I'm going to go and keep moving towards it, expecting to be backed up. And not running away as soon as things get a little bit difficult because, oh my gosh, I don't know if maybe I'm pushing, maybe I'm too attached, maybe I'm... Enough. Okay? Put a strategy in place. Keep following that strategy until you break through. Until you break through, my loves. Just because something is difficult does not mean the divine is not in it. It just means sometimes things are challenging. So what? So what? You can do hard things. Okay? So what if it's a bit challenging? Number 3, you might have a hidden agenda. Hidden agendas can be things like, how am I coming across? I will not say this thing that I know I need to say, or I will not write content about this thing that I need to create content about, or I will not speak to my clients in this way because I'm worried that they will not like me, or that they will think that I'm something, or that. That's a hidden agenda. Where you on one hand you say, I want to make money in my business, but on the other hand you're saying, but I would prefer that everybody likes me over making money in my business. And it might even, for some of you, that might seem like, it's like a lot of these Christmas movies, a lot of the movies are all about romance and such. And why can we just watch one this afternoon, and it starts to grate? Because it's always like, if the business person is too much into making sure that the business is profitable, they're the bad one. Whereas the one that wants to give everything away for free, and it's just so kind and nice, is the good one, basically. And you buy into these ideas. But the hidden agenda here is, you just want to be liked. You just want everybody to like you. So you want to be the nice one. You want everybody to love you. And, except at some point you start to feel quite resentful of the fact that everybody's using you, because that is what will happen. And then you can judge the ones who are, I'm not saying that we need to be evil, but I am saying that you need to understand that the purpose of your business really literally is to make money. If you just wanted to live your purpose, you could do that for free. You didn't have to start a business in order to live your purpose. So really understand that a business needs certain actions to happen in order for you to make a profit. And if you are mixing up those actions in trying to make sure everybody likes you, there's trouble. There's going to be trouble, okay? I understand that you're a nice, purpose-driven, heart-centered soul and you want to help everyone. And so you're kind of creating because you'll do things like creating things at really stupid prices. Really, really low price, because you want everybody, I just want everybody to like me. Now, there may be a business strategy for your low prices, and that's fine if you had a business strategy behind it. But for a lot of spiritual people, it's not business strategy. It's that, everybody's suffering. And so I just want to make sure that, that I don't add to their suffering. What do you mean? If someone doesn't want what you have, they won't buy it. And really, do you actually know everybody's bank account details? Do you actually know that they're all suffering, or just the media's told you we're all tightening our belts and everything is hard? Really? There is a customer at every price point, okay? If you have a strategy, a strategic reason for doing things at your low pricing, fine. But if you're doing it simply, and you really need to be honest with yourself, if you're doing it because you really just want to be nice, it's not a winning business strategy, and it'll probably cause you to overwork and still not see your income growing. But you'll tell yourself that the divine likes me, and maybe I'll wait for the next life for me to be successful. Nonsense. That is a choice you have made. It's not a choice that the divine needs you to make. Okay? Or you tell yourself it will happen for you finally, and someday some Oprah maybe will take you on TV and all your $2 things will suddenly start selling to the masses. And maybe that could happen. Maybe. It's unlikely though, and will you last long enough for that to happen? Because if you're not bringing money into the business, how on earth are you going to keep the business going? So you keep getting more and more tired, you're over and over working, and you will start, I promise, because one, you'll attract people into your business who do not want to invest in themselves because you've convinced yourself everybody's really suffering and they can't afford anything. And so they all come into your business thinking, well, if I don't have to, then I don't need to. And so they come with a crazy attitude. You think, because they're not doing the things that you're asking them to do, you will start to think that it's because what you're doing is ineffective. And so you start to doubt your abilities to help anybody. All because, follow that through. You start to doubt your ability to help anybody. You stop being excited about your work, you quit. All because you wanted people to like you more than you wanted to live in your purpose and do it profitably. More than you cared about your family and the fact that they need to eat. Basically, whilst you're living your purpose. Can you see what is happening here? Can you see that you may have hidden agendas? And if you start to see it, actually, you might also start to get quite resentful of your potential clients. And again, that will make you not really want to sell things to them because you're just thinking they're going to take advantage of me. And it'll be almost like a subconscious need to protect yourself from these clients or potential clients. So the way you communicate with them and everything will change. And they won't want to do business with you. You want to understand what's going on. And it's all craziness. And it all started because of a hidden agenda that you were not aware of. Wake up. Wake up. Are you wanting to be liked, or do you want a successful business? Okay? It's not either or, really, because you can have a successful business and be liked. But if your priority is to be liked over anything else, you'll get liked, but you may not like yourself. Actually, you may not like yourself. So wake up. This is the kind of thing that we'll be looking at in Prayer Firm Receive, because sometimes you can't see that you're doing this. you will logicalize with yourself, except you'll feel as if you'll just feel really yuck inside. I can help you pick out this nonsense. Come and work with me in Prayer Firm Receive. Let us handle this stuff from the beginning of 2024 so you do not take this nonsense all the way into the year, and this time next year you're still in the same place wondering why is this happening to me? For most people, they will quit, actually. If you're still here next year and you're still in the place that you are right now, then actually that says something about your persistence. So honor to you. However, it doesn't need to be that bad. Come and work with me in Prayer Firm Receive. Let's handle this. Anyway, number 4 is putting your debt first. Sometimes people always, or almost always, people who are not in business yet, usually, who are talking about how they want to be in business, usually one of their first goals is, I just want to pay off my debt. And so that might even be the reason why they don't even start the business in the first place. I just need to pay off my debts first, and then I will do this. Nonsense. One, paying off debt is really not that exciting. There's no part of you that wants to make money to then give it away to somebody else, though you may say that you do. And so it's inevitable that the chances are you won't really try too hard to make that much money because you don't want to make it and then give it to somebody else, okay? 2, all this focus on the debt, and I've lived this, the debt generally tends to get bigger because you're giving it a heck of a lot of energy. What if you gave a heck of a lot of energy to making money in your purpose? Guess what? You'd make so much money in your purpose that the debt would be swallowed up by the amount of money you're making, and suddenly you can pay off the debt without it killing you or without you focusing on it so much. It becomes just one of those things that you sort out on the way to living in your purpose. So this whole trying to put your debt first, I know they told us that that's what we're supposed to do and that we should think that way, and it's a nonsense of a nonsense of a nonsense. And then not only that, they told us that you're supposed to feel guilty and ashamed of the fact that you're in debt, and so you must do everything to get yourself out of it. And so for some of you, it's keeping you at your income level because you are so petrified about ever being in debt. Now, there is a kind of debt that is just kind of crazy, and I know I got into that originally because I was doing stupid things, absolutely. But to invest in yourself, none of you will think twice about investing to go to university or college. Some of you did think about it and decide not to do it. But for some of y'all that did go to college, you didn't think this. But when it comes to actually living your purpose, oh no. No, I must think about my debt first, and definitely not get myself into debt in order to live my purpose. And so you stay stuck. And to me, it's almost like a first world trap. It's like a first world trap. They convince you that you should not use debt, or don't use debt to get yourself out of your current income level. That's one of the lies they tell you. And then all the other one is, if you do use debt, your focus must just be on paying us back. Do not think about dreamings or your vision or anything like that. Just think about paying us back. Again, that's another way they keep you at your income level. I don't know who they is really, but but the choices you make because of what you've been told will keep you stuck. And you'll think you're being responsible because everybody around you is doing the exact same thing. And even the ones that managed to get out of debt and they're so proud of themselves. I got out of debt. I'm out of debt. I did it. But then they're still struggling. They're still struggling financially. They're still, we can't do anything. We have to be so careful. We have to be, who wants to live that kind of restricted way forever? Forever. Oh my goodness. So I get it. I get why you don't want to be in debt. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, of course. But that cannot be your focus. So it is a mindset issue if you make it your focus, and it will be a mindset issue, and it will keep you stuck because paying off debt ain't thrilling at all. You won't want to do it really. Subconsciously, you'll be trying not to do it. Number 5, the whole giving everything away for free, which we kind of addressed in the I'm trying to be liked by everybody thing, basically, because you tell yourself it's horrible to charge anybody because they need your help. For one, you are not called to be savior of the world. Everybody is not your person, okay? Everybody's not your person. People who are ready to invest in themselves, they will find a way. I found a way. I couldn't afford... Whenever I come to work with anyone, whenever I come to do anything to learn about me, I'm moving forward. Even when it came to advertising my business, I didn't have the money just sitting in a bank account waiting for me to use it. Absolutely not. I just knew that I was in this for the long haul. So whatever knowledge I picked up from a coach or from a mentor, whatever I invested in advertising, that money was coming back to me because I would not quit until it did. So therefore, I did. I'm not sure where I went with this. How did I get here again? I don't know. I was talking about not giving everything away for free. And somehow I'm here talking about me making a commitment. I don't know how I got here. Whichever way. Oh yes, I'm not the savior of the world. So, you thinking that people cannot afford to work with you, that's a savior complex. That's where I was going with this. Because I know when I was at my lowest, I found a way. And I've done it numerous times. When I'm at my lowest, when I need and decide that I'm going to have something, I find a way to have it. I find a way to have it. And that's the same with the people you are called to work with. The ones you are called to work with, they will find a way to afford what you have. The others will not. And if you try and keep bending yourself this way and that way for those ones that are not actually serious about doing anything, yeah, you'll break your own back. Basically. The divine does not need you to struggle. You are one with the divine. Seriously, everything is available to you if you will allow yourself to have everything. And sometimes, yes, everything flows through other people. And yeah, sometimes you can manifest miraculously things coming from who knows where. But ultimately, if you keep making the decision to make your life hard, you will have a hard life. That's just the way it is. Okay? Number 6, like I was telling you my story at the beginning about how I didn't feel safe with money. You may not feel safe with money. Maybe something happened in your childhood, something happened at some point where ultimately you've now connected in your mind that money means people treat you badly or people try to hurt you. And so you've connected it together. You do not allow yourself to make that much money. Okay? And so you try, in fact, even if you do make money, you're trying to get rid of it. You're trying to get rid of it quickly. In fact, it's like I said at the beginning, the more money I made, the more debt I seem to create. Basically, it was like, get the money, get rid of it as quickly as possible. Okay. If you don't feel safe with money, that is what will happen. You need to cultivate a deep sense of safety in the divine. A deep sense of knowing that you are fully supported all of the time. All of the time. And it's a cultivated feeling. The same way you cultivated this sense of not being safe, you can start to notice where, actually, you know what? I've always been taken care of. Somehow I always break through. Somehow I always manifest the thing that I need. Somehow something, then you start to realize, you know what? I am safe. I'm always taken care of. Okay? And so then you feel like you can hold on to money instead of get rid of it quickly. And you can welcome money in as well. And, you know, sometimes people are trying to create a savings account so that they feel safe. When actually the way it works is that you feel safe and then you create a savings account because you don't need to get rid of money so quickly anymore. It always works from the inside out. You heal the stuff inside of you. You find that you're able to do the things that you wanted to do with less drama. Okay? Okay, that's number 6. Number 7, you don't have any money goals. You just have lots of impact goals. I've been speaking on the phone to a lot of people recently, and sometimes there's some people I have to literally ask them, okay, so yes, I understand you want to change lots of people's lives and all of this happened, and you really want to help all the youth, and you want to help all the battered women, and you want to help all the homeless, and but what of how much money would you like to make? And then, oh, I've never thought about that. Oh, I don't know how much money I have no idea, because they're uncomfortable with money. And guess what? If you are uncomfortable with money, money will be uncomfortable with you. Okay? Okay? If you keep treating money like it's some kind of bad thing for you to ever think about, yeah, well, fine. That's what you'll get. It's a bad thing. It won't come to you. You'll keep avoiding it because you've been avoiding it, ultimately. So you need to get very clear. How much money do I want to make? How much money will I refuse to make less than? Let's set a limit inside of you and grow into that limit where it's like, no more am I making any less than this amount. And stay with that until you're making that amount, and then go higher. Go higher. Don't start with I'm going to make 20 million, because you kind of know already that you're not going to make 20 million. Okay. So you say these things, and then when it doesn't happen, oh, you know, I tried, I wrote out my affirmations of 20 million, but there was no substance to it ever. I want you to start with 500 more than what you're making right now. I want you to feel into that. If that feels really small, because you quite comfortably increase your income, then go to your next income level that feels a little bit of a stretch, but not so much of a stretch that you just even give up. So you're making 2,000 a month. Okay, you know what? I'm now committing to make 3,000 a month. And write that down. Really feel into it. Refuse to look at anything else until you're making that 3,000 a month. And then move on to the next one. You will see there's a difference between just, oh, I'm going to make 10,000 now. I'm going to make my 6 figures, which just seems so out there that even you just don't even believe yourself. Whereas just that next little amount, it feels real. You'll feel the tension inside of you. Oh, suppose that doesn't happen. Oh, I'm not sure. And then you understand why you've been jumping at the 6 figures, 7 figures, or not even making any money goals at all because, you know, I'm all about impacting people. I just want to transform some lives. Okay, let's be real with ourselves. Why are you hiding from how much money you actually want? Really feel into that. Dare to sit in the discomfort of it so that you can get past that. For real. Okay? So have money goals, but let them be with, something a little bit out of reach, but not so out of reach that you just think is crazy. Ultimately, there's 3 levels to money. There's the spiritual, how connected you are to the divine, whether you know you're safe in the divine, all of that stuff. Number 2 is the emotional, mental stuff. And we talked a lot about the emotional, mental stuff here. And if you come and work with me in Pray, Affirm, Receive, I will be helping you identify your specific emotional, mental stuff, as well as helping you to cultivate a sense of safety with the divine, and then teaching you a step-by-step deliberate millionaire process for absolutely, definitely get to the point where you predictably use your own internal power to create what you want. So that's the two sides of it. And then, of course, if you're going to grow a business or something like, if you're going to grow a business, because that's what I generally help people with, then there's practical strategy that needs to be followed in order for you to do that. So those are the 3 levels to making money, and you have to handle all 3 of them. Now, some spiritual people just focus on working harder. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to work harder. But if you have guilt and shame and fear and doubt and all that stuff plaguing you, the chances are the actions you will take will not be that effective, and you'll wonder, why? Why is it all this work I'm doing and I'm not seeing any results? That's why, my loves. That's why. Others will spend all their time digging and digging, looking for all the childhood trauma, looking for all the drama, all of it. I'm just going to clear all of that. Honey, you can be as healed. You can be the most healed person on the planet and still be broke. If you do not have a goal that you're working towards, you'll be healed. You'll feel nice and peaceful, but you will also feel quite broke, basically, because you didn't ever focus on that. So if you don't take practical action because you think that if I just get clear enough, everything is going to be fine, it's a lie. Okay? Others think that you can't be spiritual or you can be rich, but you cannot be both. Nonsense over nonsense over nonsense. Everything is available to you if you choose to go after everything. Okay? So let's just stop the madness. You do need a personal plan that includes all 3 aspects of the money. How can you do that? Strongly urge you to come and work with me or some coach mentor that you particularly resonate with. The way to work with me at the moment is in Pray, Affirm, Receive. Okay? Because I'm starting 2024 helping people with the spiritual and the mental side of creating wealth. And in the final week, or the 7th week, I will get on the phone. Well, I'll be getting on the phone with you every week anyway. But that final week is going to be completely dedicated to coming up with your personal 100K blueprint. So you speak to as many people as possible and very quickly help you see what your next steps are, what to do in order to get your 6 figures in place. The second call is getting clear on your purpose. That's another thing we're going to be doing, is getting clear on your purpose. Getting clear on your purpose. So there's no uncertainty. And in the second week as well, we're going to be so getting clear on your purpose, but also setting a money target. Because my goal is that even though we're not talking about nitty-gritty of money, of building a business or something, you will learn how magnetic you can be to money when you clear the nonsense in the way of your magnetism. basically. So yes, as much as I said you can't just depend on manifesting and magic and miracles, I also know that you are magnetic to money. Literally, you are, when you clear the way and allow yourself to be magnetic. So I will teach you exactly how to demonstrate your magneticism. You'll demonstrate your power. We all have divine power. We're divinity. We are divine beings having a human experience. You have human power and you have divine power. Most of us don't know how to use this. I definitely didn't, and I went on a journey with the divine. Because I could do all the working hard. I could work my socks off. But I got to the point where I realized this working hard thing isn't working. I've been working hard. And it's not getting me where I want to go. So then I started digging deep into understanding what I understood as a child, actually. But now I understand it. Not just hit and miss. It's a predictable, this is how you create money. This is how you create anything, not just money, but money is a nice one because it's easily measured. Did you get it? Did you not get it? Measured. So even though Pray, Affirm, Receive is not a nuts and bolts business building course, it is a open up, increase your wealth consciousness and learn how to manifest money predictably. So that's week 2. We'll be looking at that, and you'll be having a system, and then we'll through the rest of the weeks are other things that need to be handled to ensure that you are moving forward. So, the first week, we're definitely getting the foundation right, connection to the divine. Second week, let's get your purpose sorted, and you will know the steps to take, because you'll have a sum of money that you are going to be focused on for the rest of the course in order to manifest, okay? And then we're week 3, 4, 5, 6, we're looking at specific areas like some of some of the lies told by you by religion, some of the lies told by you by families and relationships, some of the lies because of your sexuality. We're looking at that, and we're looking at something else. We're looking at something else that is week 6, but I can't for the life of me remember what it is. Well, whatever it is, we're looking at it, okay? You can go and have a look at the page. It's rosemarynonnynight.com/PAR, okay? rosemarynonnynight.com/PAR. If you're on Instagram, the link is in my bio. But seriously, we are going to be hashing this stuff out at the very beginning of 2024 to ensure that you are not in the same place at the end of 2024, honeys. Okay? So, come on, work with me. 7 weeks. Pray, affirm, receive. It's exactly what it says on the box. You're going to learn how to pray and affirm in order for you to receive. Pray, affirm it, and receive it. Receive it! Basically. And I'm really looking forward to doing this with you, because this journey that I've been on, if I can help you shorten the time, I can't take you out of the darkness. We all have to grow into our next levels. We have to, or else you'll just fall back down again. So the idea is to help you see how you've been getting in your own way, so you can get rid of it, to help teach you how to get rid of that stuff so you're not getting in your own way, and teach you exactly what to do to manifest whatever you want to manifest whenever. Okay? Really, because you have the power to create wealth. You do. You just don't know how to use it. So as I said on a video earlier today, you got to come to school. You got to come to school. The same way you learned how to do anything, you're going to have to come and learn how to use your power to create the life you're meant for. Hello. Hey, Talkbaya, how you doing? Lovely to have you here, my love. Okay, so on that note, my honeys, I am now going to bring this to a close. It's been such a pleasure sharing this with you. It will be available until the morning when I wake up, when it will be taken down. But for right now, you can listen in again, listen to everything, and see what resonates with you. And maybe that's exactly what you need to handle, so you stop getting in your own way. Then the other thing is, go over to rosemarynonnynight.com/PAR or PAR, Pray, Affirm, Receive, PAR. rosemarynonnynight.com/PAR, PAR. Come and join in. I'm so looking forward to doing this work with you. Oh, I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about doing this work with the number of people that are joining me. I can already see you. Do not delay. I know Christmas is around the corner. You might be telling yourself, I just want to wait. You waited enough. You've waited enough. This is the time to give yourself the gift of success in the field that you want to be successful in, rather than the one that you feel that you've had to force yourself to stay in. You deserve to thrive and prosper and make at least 6 figures whilst living in your life's purpose. Allow it to happen for you. come and work with me in Pray, Affirm, Receive. I am so looking forward to doing this work with you. It's rosemarynonny.com/PAR. Share this with somebody who is able to watch it between now and tomorrow morning. I'll also be down. Until the next time, much amazing love. Such a pleasure as always. Mwah. Bye.